My name is Nigel Hobbins. I was born in Kent, in Canterbury. I grew up in a village called Chollock. I play music and I do wood carving. Thank God for music. Especially during lockdown. That was, wow. I've been involved with playing music since I've been a kid, really. And the joy of playing with other people, that musical language is, you can't put a price on it. Singing is my fingerprint. I've kept my local accent as much as I can. Mainly guitar and mandolin I play, and that's just to accompany the voice. My recent albums since 2000 have been really songs that I've written to do with where I live. I live in East Kent. They're about the landscape, about people, about events, signs, fishing, anything that just touches my imagination and I feel the need to write. Always coloured by local history and recordings that were given to me of local singers, local Kent singers, Sussex singers. That has helped me in a big way to carry on writing, and especially for Levitating in lockdown. The album Levitating in Lockdown, it just came about because of not being able to play with other members of the Dreamlanders. So to actually, in isolation, do the tracks on my own, I luckily dusted down a second-hand keyboard, which spluttered into life, and I use that for melodies and sounds, and that's how the album developed, really. The song River Fishing is really a account of me fishing the local River Stour, and it's conjuring up that experience of one of the reasons why I go freshwater fishing. It is solitude and quietness and just being more or less in one little location while the world just carries on. Fishing in the river with rod float and centre pin. As the mist rises in the reeds, you choose your swim. Let the current guide your float, your reel will spin. To catch a roach, a chub, or a perch would be a very fine thing. A gravelly run through weeds is good for dace. For bigger fish, an overhanging tree is the perfect place. The actual song, it's a description of how to fish the river, how I was taught, how I envied other people's equipment. I always dreamt of having a centre pin reel. That's a special reel that allows the line to flow through the rod and flow downstream. Really, the song just tries to conjure up that whole feeling of having the river just moving through and you're sitting in one place. And that's about it. Your sixth sense is heightened in the dim white light. As your float drifts down in the shadows, it can hardly be seen. You strain your neck in the hope of catching the fish of your dreams. So you had no luck with the last cast. You try again, promising With distorted views and prejudiced feelings, you ask loaded questions, the answers in mind. Well, are there no boundaries that your selfish dealings will leave well alone for the sake of mankind? Finger of Blame was a song that started in the 1980s. And it was a song that was called Sacred. I'm sure other songwriters must have done this. There's one or two songs you kind of go, I'm not quite happy with that, or there's still something in that. So it's a kind of antique song because it's over 25 years old. So a few of the lyrics, they developed from the 80s all the way through to now, and even developed. It was the only song that a few of the lyrics developed while I was recording. Give Finger of Blame a good listen.
A little girl stood on the bridge one day, feeding the gulls and in childish way. Hearing they come from the far-off sea.
Well, the song Seagull, it's poignant for me because it's got a lot of family, associated with family history. My granddad, before I was born, used to sing this song, and he sung this song to my older sister and my mum when my dear old dad was away in the Second World War. Because I recorded my granddad singing it as well, and I remember my mum saying, oh, that's my favourite that granddad used to sing, it stuck with me. And I've done various versions, and I thought Levitating in Lockdown wouldn't be the album if that song wasn't on it. A little girl stood on the beach one day, feeding the gulls and in childish way. Hearing they come from the far-off sea, said to one, please take a message for me. To my dear daddy, a sailor man bold, on his big ship on the foam. Tell him his little girl does want him so, and will he please hasten home? Seagull, seagull, fly away over the sea. Seagull, seagull, please take a message for me. If you see a big ship a-sailing on the foam, tell me daddy that his little girl is waiting for him at home. Now the winter was here and the gulls had flown back to the sea and old London town. On the seashore stood the little girl, watching them once again round the world. Tearfully she said, oh faithless gull, I gave a message to you. Why did you not tell me, dear daddy, so? Tell him once again, please do. Seagull, seagull, fly away over the sea. Seagull, seagull, please take a message for me. If you see a big ship sailing on the foam, tell me daddy that his little girl is waiting for him at home. Now the wind was howling around the ship, all hands were working the homeward trip. Then came the gulls and the storm was fast. Land ahead, yes, 'twas old England at last. Forward the boat comes, a big man jumps out. making the little girl glad. Oh, I knew you'll come, dear, she said, for I told the seagulls to fetch you back. Seagull, seagull, fly away over the sea. Seagull, seagull, please take a message for me. If you see a big ship a-sailing on the foam, tell me, Daddy, that his little girl is waiting for him at home.
For him at home. There, now don't you ask me to do any more.
No, that's got to go, Grandad. I'm glad we got them now. We got them for always now.
Yeah.
Don't you remember teaching that to Cynthia when Les was away? You taught Cynthia that, Seagull.
Oh, yeah.
The recording of Levitating in lockdown was done in this very building. A project that got me through the lockdown. And I really honestly hope that if you have a chance to listen to it, you really enjoy it.